Hello, my name is Ken and I'm a volunteer tour guide at the History of Science Museum in Oxford, and I'm also the chairman of the Oxford and District Amateur Radio Society, ODARS. Today we're in the basement of the museum because we're celebrating International Marconi Day. Beside me in the cabinet here is the Cohero receiver, or black box, that Marconi demonstrated at the Toynbee Hall in London in 1896. He stood with it on one end of the stage, no wires attached to it at all, and an assistant sent a signal from the other side of the stage and made the bell on the top ring. This really surprised the audience. They were amazed, and Marconi became an instant celebrity. This is the telephone receiver that was used by Marconi for the first transatlantic radio message in 1901. The aerials used for that occasion were blown down by a storm, and they had to use a kite to hold the wire aerial aloft. But he is alleged to have heard the 3 dots of the Morse code letter S, which was the signal sent from Cornwall. One of the problems with radio in the early days is that there was no tuning. So if you were trying to pick up a signal from a particular station, you were likely to get lots of interference. To get around this, Marconi adopted the idea of tuning his transmitters. This was the tune transmitter coil from 1899, and it led the way to making it possible for far more stations to communicate with each other. Eventually, receiving stations were also improved, and this led in 1907 to the development of equipment like this, which was a very highly selective receiving tuner. This was a very important development in radio, and it made possible broadcasting, which of course we've been enjoying for at least 100 years now.
Looking back at these inventions and discoveries now, when instant communication happens at the touch of a button, makes me think what an absolute revolution it must have felt like 120 years ago. This day is an opportunity for amateur radio enthusiasts around the world to set up temporary radio stations at locations that have some connection with Marconi and try and make contact with each other or any other amateur station. However, due to the coronavirus situation, the Oxford Society will be working radio from home this year. While we are looking forward to operating from home, there is still a way anyone can tune in and hear us on their computer, tablet or phone. Just see the History of Science Museum website for step-by-step instructions.
Well, that's all from me. I'm off now to get my radio warmed up to join in the fun for Marconi Day. Remember, you can find out much more about Marconi and the early days of radio from the History of Science Museum's website.